Microorganisms can be harmful to us. These tiny living things can also be useful to humans. Microorganisms have an amazing relationship with humans, although some may make us sick. So, are microorganisms our friends or foes? Hello boys and girls! How are you feeling today? I hope you are in your best condition. I'm Teacher Elaine and thank you for watching iTTV. Today we are going to recognize that besides being harmful, microorganisms are also very useful to humans' life. Welcome back, my students! Well, from the previous lesson, we have learned about microorganisms being very harmful to humans' life, right? Well, most people, when they think about microorganisms as tiny little creatures which always cause bad effects to humans. Well, little do you know, there are also microorganisms which are very beneficial to humans' life. These scientists, they have done so many researches and have manipulated these bacteria or even fungus and viruses to bring benefits to humans' life. Now let's see how microorganisms are beneficial to us. Some microorganisms are very useful to mankind and have very important commercial uses. Microorganisms are widely used to manufacture food products, beverages, medicines, fertilizers, and also vaccines. We call these the human's microflora. The human flora is the assemblage of microorganisms that constantly and consistently inhabit the human's body. This is an example of a bacteria which always lives in the intestines of humans. The bacteria is named Escherichia coli. The presence of this E. coli in our body is actually beneficial to humans' health. It lives in the large intestines of humans. Living there actually protects the intestines from other harmful microorganisms from colonizing our large intestines. Alright? Besides that, these bacteria, together with some other kinds of bacteria, also produces vitamins such as vitamins B and vitamins K in our intestines. Some bacteria in our body prevents growth of harmful microorganisms. It also produces vitamin K for humans. Now let's take a look at another kind of bacteria which thrive inside our body, the Lactobacillus. This Lactobacillus is a part of the normal vaginal flora. The acid produced by these bacteria in our body actually prevents the growth of other different harmful kinds of microorganisms. Let's see. Some bacteria in our body, such as the Lactobacillus bacteria, prevents vaginal yeast infections. It also aids in digestion. Well, the same type of bacteria can also be found in our large intestines, facilitating our digestion and preventing constipation. Well, boys and girls, sometimes when you go to see the doctor prescribes you with antibiotic. Do you know that if you consume these antibiotics, well, it is good for your health because it kills the harmful microorganisms when you are sick. So these antibiotics also kills other types of beneficial or the useful microorganisms which present naturally on our skin, right? So when these bacteria are there, then some other different kinds of microorganisms can actually harm us. So sometimes the doctor will advise you to take some other medications such as probiotics. For example, you can consume yogurt or other probiotic drinks that you can easily purchase from the supermarket to restore these useful microorganisms in our body. Microorganisms can also be utilized to make food. This is a picture of the fungus and soy sauce. This fungi is called Aspergillus Oryzae. In making soy sauce, the soybeans are actually soaked and then cooked to remove any other contaminants from the soybean. Then, the soybean, which is cooked, is mixed with the fungus Aspergillus Oryzae inside the soybean and then kept to make soy sauce. Well, these fungus actually breaks down the large molecules inside the soybeans and release nutrients such as amino acids into the soy sauce, and therefore making your soy sauce nutritious and taste good. Microorganisms are also used to produce blue cheese. The fungi Penicillium roqueforti is used in production of blue cheese. Can you see from the diagram the blue cheese with blue and green streaks? Do you know where these blue and green streaks come from? Well, the unique look of blue cheese is a result of a specific type of mold, the Penicillium roqueforti, added during the cheese making process. These fungus growing on the cheese will actually gives it a better flavor and also a better texture of the cheese. Microorganisms can also be found in yogurt. Bacteria are found in yogurt, for example, the Lactobacillus Bacteria. When you consume yogurt, it is good for your health because you also consume these beneficial or useful bacteria into your body, and therefore these useful bacteria will grow in your intestine and help in your digestion. So that is why if you're suffering from constipation, you can try to eat some yogurt. The bacteria and sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is fermented cabbage. Well, bacteria in this sauerkraut actually provides you with wonderful, good nutrients for your health. Sauerkraut, there are natural bacteria present in the cabbage surface. Well, these natural bacteria will act and produce good nutrients for your body. And these nutrients can actually prevent cancer and can also serve as antioxidant so that you will have better skin. Besides that, it also aids in digestion and prevent constipation. The yeast, like we all know, yeast is used to make bread. Fungus. The fungus Rhizopus oligosporus is also used in the production of tempeh. Do you know what tempeh is? Tempeh is a local food which is frequently consumed by the local Malays in Malaysia and also in Indonesia. Well, do you know that the fungus used in the production of tempeh actually provides a lot of nutrients for you? So, tempeh is also a nutritious food with the help of fungi. Besides that, microorganisms such as fungi are also eaten as food. Do you know that mushrooms are also an example of fungus? Yes, we eat mushrooms, right? Well, you will have to know how to differentiate between poisonous mushrooms and also non-poisonous mushrooms. These non-poisonous mushrooms are edible. The Chinese especially consume a lot of mushrooms in their daily meals. Truffles. Truffles are also fungus. Truffles can also be taken in as food. Do you know that truffles are very expensive? It can amount up to a few $1,000s. Besides that, the yeast is also used to make wine. We can frequently find yeast on the surface of grapes. When you use the yeast and mix it with red grapes and allow it to ferment for some time, you will get wine. This is because yeast is used in winemaking, where it converts the sugar present in the red grape and convert it into alcohol, and therefore you get your wine. Microorganisms. Besides using them in food industries, microorganisms are also used to produce medicines. The history of antibiotics. Now we're going to touch a little about the history of antibiotics. Alexander Fleming found that a certain mold prevented the growth of bacteria. This discovery led to the development of antibiotics. Let me tell you a little bit about the history of antibiotics. There was one day, this scientist, he was growing bacteria on a petri dish. So one day, this same petri dish was contaminated by fungus. Fungus went into growth. After that, he saw that at the place where the fungus grew, there was a zone of inhibition. Bacteria did not dare to come near this fungus. So he thought, whoa, there must be something produced by the fungus which made the bacteria so scared of it. So what it is? It was used to produce antibiotic. Can you see? Then this plate, the white dots are antibiotic. Antibiotics are substances produced by fungus which can inhibit harmful bacterial growth. And you can see where the bacteria are grown, and that transparent halo zone or ring is the inhibition zone, showing that the bacteria did not dare to come near the antibiotic, or the antibiotic kills the bacteria which grew on that particular spot. Fungi and antibiotics. Microorganisms are also used to produce vaccines. Microorganisms such as bacteria and virus can be used in the production of vaccines. Microorganisms are also used in agriculture. We know that microorganisms can serve as decomposers, right? They are able to decompose organic materials into nutrients for the soil. So therefore, the ability of bacteria to decompose this organic waste will actually fertilize the soil. Microorganisms as decomposers. Decomposers are organisms that eat the dead or decaying organisms, and in doing so carry out the natural process of decomposition. Well, microorganisms, they are very useful to humans. They have the ability to decompose organic waste. If these microorganisms do not decompose waste, then have you ever thought about the waste will keep on accumulating in Earth, right? And there will be no more available space for us to live in. We'll probably live in an Earth full with waste. Well, the ability of microorganisms to decompose waste also enables it to break down the waste to provide nutrients for the soil. These nutrients will then be taken up by the plants, right? When the plants grow, they will die and decay. The fallen leaves will also again be decayed by microorganisms, and therefore the nutrients are again released into the soil and the cycle continues. So microorganisms, they play a big role in nutrient recycling. Microorganisms can be used to make fertilizers. Wow, from all the knowledge that you have about microorganisms, we are going to move on to the exercise section. Question number 1. Which of the following are made with the help of fungi? Is it 1. Bread, 2. Yogurt, 3. Tempeh, or 4. Soy sauce? The answer is 1, 3, and 4 only. Well, fungus, they are utilized to make bread, tempeh, and soy sauce. Yogurt was produced with the help of bacteria. Now, question number 2. Which statements about bacteria are true? 1. All bacteria are harmful. 2. Some bacteria found on our body are useful. Or is it 3. Bacteria are not decomposers? 4. Bacteria is used to make tempeh. So which of the following about bacteria are true? The answer is 2 only. Let's take a look again. Well, all bacteria are harmful? No, it is false. We know that there are also bacteria which are useful. Some bacteria found on our body are useful? Yes, it is true. Bacteria are not decomposers is false. Bacteria, they serve as decomposers and are also used to make fertilizers. Or is it for bacteria is used to make tempeh? No, it is fungus which was the one used to make tempeh. So the answer is 2 only. Now question number 3. Yeast can 1. Cause yeast infection. 2. Be used to make tapai. 3. Be used to make wine. Or is it 4. Be used to make bread? The answer is D. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeast can cause yeast infection. Remember the oral candidiasis that we've talked about in the previous lesson? Yes, and it also makes to use tapai and wine and even bread. Now we've finished our exercises for the day and it's time for vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day, beverages, minuman. Decomposer, pengurai. Medicine, ubat. Natural fertilizer, baja asli. Soy sauce, kicap. Did you jot down the vocabularies of the day? I hope you did. Now, are you anticipating for trivia of the day? Now, let's see what is the trivia for today. Do you know that some antibiotics previously used to kill harmful bacteria in human body are no longer efficient now? This is because bacteria can develop resistance towards antibiotics due to the widespread misuse of antibiotics. Now boys and girls, if the doctor prescribes you with antibiotics, make sure you complete your antibiotic course. If not, one day the same antibiotic will no longer be useful to your health and it will be hard, even harder to treat your disease. Okay, now let's do a quick recap. We have learned today that microorganisms, besides from being harmful, they are also useful to our humans' health and it's also used to produce food products and it's also used in our agriculture to produce fertilizers and not forgetting medicines, antibiotics, remember? Alright, thank you for your time today and your patience, boys and girls. I hope to see you again soon in our coming lesson. Bye-bye!